Welcome to the first of a three-part project where we will be updating 2 wooden end tables. We will go through the sanding and staining process I used to get from the table on the left to the finished table on the right, as well as repair any dents or deep scratches we might find. First things first, remove the glass. Next, using a sander with preferably 60 to 80 grit sandpaper, starts along an extremely joyous process of sanding. Be sure to sand evenly with the surface, otherwise you may end up creating a rounded edge. Also, be extremely careful around the edge where the supports for the glass are located. After you've sanded the outside, it's time to move on to the interior. But in order to sand all the surfaces evenly, we'll have to take it apart. This table has 6 bolts with washers that need to be removed with an Allen wrench. After all the bolts and washers are removed, and using a little bit of brute force, separate the wood. Be careful not to push down or twist the wood, since it contains wooden dowel supports. Using a pair of pliers, remove the dowels. Oh, and be sure you drop something too, because we all know no project's complete without something going wrong. So you might as well get it out the way. Be sure not to grip too tight or grip at an awkward angle because you might cause the dowel to break. Just like this. Although dowels are strong in practice, they tend to be sensitive, get their feelings hurt, and crack under the pressure if not given the proper love and care they deserve. Since only one dowel broke, I decided to just pull out as much as possible and sand down the rest later. From here, replace your sandpaper if needed, and then sand again. For those hard to get sections, I used a smaller sander with the same grit sandpaper. These are the pieces that support the glass. Again, be sure to stay even with the wood, otherwise you can easily sand away the supports and your glass will end up sitting uneven. And then you'll have all kinds of juice on the floor. Because of this, I decided not to sand the glass supports, and honestly, when it's finished, the old paint will blend in right in with the new. Chances are you're going to end up with a little bit of paint left over on the corners. For this, you can either use a sanding block or sanding paper to avoid applying too much pressure with the sander and again, rounding the edges. Or if you trust yourself enough, you can always use a light sander. After you've completed the sanding, it's advised you go back over all of your wood again with a finer grit sandpaper, somewhere between 100 to 180. I decided to not try and sand out the black sections left over where the wood meets, because when it's all done, you'll hardly notice. So that's it. step 1 down. I hope you enjoyed the video, or I hope it at least gave you enough confidence to be able to go out and do it yourself. And hey, if you want to keep updated, you know what button to push. Until the next one, peace out.